Hey everybody, Akil Taylor here, back at it again with another video. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my videos. Thank you for your likes, comments, and to my subscribers, thank you so much. As a new YouTuber, I'm trying to grow, and I would greatly appreciate it if you find the video interesting to like the video, make some comments for me. That will help me out, I guess, with the algorithm, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel because I can only grow with your help. Recently, former President Donald Trump sat down with Fox News. I believe the reporter name is Maria Bartiromo. I hope I'm not butchering her name. And Trump talked about some of the policies that he wants to implement with his new, if he wins the presidency again, and how it would help America. So let's get to it.
Tell us about your policy plans and how they will impact the lives of American citizens.
So we're going to have more jobs than we've ever had. Look, we had that. Nobody ever had an economy pre-COVID, and then after COVID, we did a phenomenal job. We handed over a stock market. We would have had a depression. I believe if I wasn't president, a couple of people are saying this very strongly now, we would have had a depression like in 1929. That was a bad thing. COVID came in. Nobody knew what it was. Nobody knew how to handle it. We closed it down to China. Governors then made decisions whether they wanted to keep it. Actually, the Republican governors made the right decisions. The Democrat governors closed everything down. It was up to them. It wasn't up to the president.
But you focused on lower taxes and deregulation. Right. Tell us how that leads to job creation.
So I cut taxes more than any other president in history, more so than Ronald Reagan. We had the biggest tax cut in history. All of a sudden, and we had business incentive cuts. And they hired people at levels that they've never hired before. As an example, Apple and other companies, they have big money, billions and billions of dollars offshore outside of this country. You couldn't bring it back. There was no mechanism to bring it back. And then the tax was too high. They had to pay like 50% tax. Who's going to do that? And I made it so that they could bring the money back. I made it much simpler, and I also reduced the tax. And the billions of dollars came pouring back into our country, and they were spending the money. So here's what we're doing. We're going to get the first thing, we're going to get energy way down, drill, baby, drill, all right? We're going to get energy way down. That's going to lead to the inflation. What's killed this country more than anything in the last 3.5 years is inflation inflicted upon this country by Sleepy Joe Biden. The inflation has been a disaster in this country.
I'm going to say this real quick. When I was a teacher, and I taught third grade, if you guys don't know, I had a student, I'm not going to say his name, but this student used to have me rolling because it was a lot of things that was talked about in front of him that he used to say to me. And one of the things, I think one of the other teachers was talking about President Joe Biden, and this little kid was like 8, 9 years old, was like, oh, I don't want to vote for dementia Sleepy Joe. I was like, wait, whoa. Kid, you're like 8, 9 years old. What are you talking about? But I just want to say that when I heard Sleepy Joe, it just made me think of when I was teaching. There's some of these kids, be careful what you say in front of them, because they will repeat it.
And it's killed the middle class. It's killing the working class. And we're going to get inflation brought down. We have to bring prices down.
How do you do that? How do you get inflation down?
If we bring energy down, other things are going to follow.
So how many jobs do you think can be created by unlocking the energy capacity in America?
Numbers that you haven't seen before, numbers that we've never seen.
What,
we were
millions?
doing it. Yeah, millions of jobs. That's what we need. We need millions of jobs. And we need people to come into our country, too, by the way. I don't want to say we're going to close the border, but we're going to have people come in, but it's going to be people that we should have.
In a post on Truth Social, you said that seniors should not pay tax on Social Security. And of course, this made big news, but the Committee for a Responsible Budget says that that will mean increasing deficits by $1.6 to $1.8 trillion.
Because we can cut other costs. There's so much waste in our government.
So that's what I want to ask. Where do you get the revenue to offset that? Because it's also apparently going to advance the insolvency date of Social Security's retirement trust fund by over a year.
Well, you know, one of the things good about that is that's when people will make a deal. You know that. But we're going to take care of Social Security. We're not going to do anything to hurt our seniors. There is so much cutting. There is so much waste in this government. There's so much fat in this government. I also have no tax on tips. That's a big deal. It's
Are you
not,
going to make that an official line item in your
Yeah.
economic plans?
Yes.
No tax on tips?
no tax on tips. Very
Okay.
simple. No
But
tax.
what about the debt? I mean, with
We're
no
gonna pay off
no
debt.
taxes on Social
No, we're gonna
Security, no
cut-
taxes on tips. I mean,
Right.
when does 35 trillion in debt become an emergency?
We are going to, we were at a point, we were doing so well prior to COVID, just prior to COVID, we were going to start reducing debt and we're going to start reducing taxes still further. I gave the biggest tax cut ever, bigger than the Reagan tax cuts. But you know what happened? It was very interesting. We took in more revenue with a smaller percentage of taxes than we did with a big percentage of, and nobody understood it. I did, some people did, but few people understood it. But when we cut taxes, we took in much more money. The country made more money. And we
So
were
it's just
getting
about leading
ready.
to growth. So
We
you
were
can-
getting ready to pay off debt.
If you would please explain to us how your economic policies that will impact the lives of American citizens differs from Kamala Harris's economic policies.
I don't have enough time. You'd have to give me like the entire day. We're going to, number one, base it very strongly on energy. We have more energy. We have more liquid gold, as I call it, under our feet than Saudi Arabia, than Russia, than anybody. We're going to be energy dominant. We're going to make a fortune. We're going to supply it all over Europe, all over the world. We're going to be double and triple what they're doing. We're going to have tremendous energy, and we're going to lower our prices of energy. People in New England, they pay some of the highest prices in the world because we don't have a pipeline, because New York won't let a pipeline go through a very poor section of New York where they need the jobs. Number one. Number two, we're going to do a tariff system. We're going to bring back our auto jobs. We're going to say to people, we don't want your cars. We're going to tariff those products, and we're going to have reciprocal tariffs. We're going to take in a fortune, but we're going to tariff those jobs. We want them to build auto plants in the United States. So right now, some of the biggest plants in the world for automobiles are being built, where? In Mexico, right on the border. And they're going to make cars and sell them into the United States. And those people in Michigan that love me and that I love and that are going to give us a victory because their auto industry won't exist in 2 years if she gets elected. China's going to make, and other countries are going to make all the cars. They're building some of the biggest auto plants. A friend of mine does that business. I said, I want to see a great auto plant. He says, you'll have to come to Mexico. Why? Because we're not building the big ones in the United States.
And you will build them here.
The biggest in the world, and we're going to have all of our people operating. And we're not going to let people come to build them in Mexico and build cars and sell them in the United States.
Won't it be more
and
expensive?
close up Michigan and South Carolina and other places.
Won't it be more expensive if you're
No,
doing
it'll
it
be
here?
no, it won't be. It'll be great. It'll be unbelievable. And by the way, when you add it all up, including the taxes and everything else, we're going to create jobs like you've never created before. If you look at auto manufacturing, it's down 64% from its high, number of jobs and everything else. But we used to be the world manufacturer, and every year it gets eaten away. And a big factor is Mexico. Mexico stole 32% of our auto manufacturing. We're going to say, you want to do that? We're putting tariffs on your cars coming in. You take those brilliant people that own these factories, they got to build in the United States, and they have to hire U.S. workers. And whether it's union or non-union, look, the United Auto Workers, I know them very well. They vote for me. They have a stupid person leading them, but they vote for me. They're going to love Donald Trump more than ever before. We're going to create in that area, the most traditional area, we're going to have more auto jobs than we've ever had. We're bringing back the automobile industry. And we're going to do that with tariffs. We're going to do that by saying, we're not going to accept. I put the tariffs on Chinese cars. You know that. Now, Biden wants to take the tariffs off of Chinese cars. He wants to just tax the electric car. That's not good enough. So we're going to have more auto production in the United States than we've ever had before, and it's going to happen very fast.
So this will be the first 100 days?
I'll get that done in less than 100 days. I'll get that done in the first 2 weeks.
I am optimistic on what he wants to do. I feel that we definitely should have tariffs on imports because other countries have tariffs on our exports. But one of the things that I must say, if he gets these things put in, the only way he can get it put in is if he has almost like a supermajority in Congress and a supermajority in the Senate. If not, he's gonna have to make a deal. And I do like what he say. What one of the things that he said that I felt that was very, very good was he said that negotiate, negotiate, negotiate. And what like he made a book called The Art of the Deal. So that is something that I feel that he's very, very good with negotiating. People may not like him. People may feel that some of the things that he say can come out to be, I don't know, iffy or racist or whatever. I never got that from him. I don't think that he is. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. Maybe he is sexist. Maybe he's racist. I don't really know. But one thing that I feel needs to happen is they do need to open up that pipeline because gas prices was cheaper under him, and it did shoot up a lot. And for Biden or the Biden administration closed that pipeline or that pipeline deal, that messed things up. But let's see what happens. I do feel, and this is just I guess maybe I'm a little biased because I have Jamaican heritage and Trinidadian heritage. You know, my grandfather's from Jamaica, or my mother's from Jamaica, my father's from Trinidad. I feel that America needs to do more to help those Caribbean countries, possibly even help create maybe a free trade system or a low tariff trade system with those Caribbean countries to boost those countries up, because those countries are struggling real bad. And they have a lot of great workers. They have a lot of great people who will be willing to help, who will be willing to work hard and do what needs to be done. And things can be great there. And we can even build things there to have it shipped to America, or vice versa. So things can happen, and we will be able to create lots of jobs, because it is a struggle. Times when I go down there and I see the amount of poor people, I'm like, man, this is sad. It's sad. My wife is Jamaican, and it's just, I love the Jamaican people. Jamaican women are so beautiful. The Jamaican culture is beautiful. The food is beautiful. But I know I'm getting off subject, but I think that if he really wants to help a lot of people, work with those countries and do what needs to be done so that people will be able to not only survive, but to be able to thrive. I wish him good luck. God bless him. God bless Kamala Harris. She's our vice president. I'm not going to leave her out. But I do think that some of the things that Donald Trump wants to do will help America. And we'll see what happens. We'll just take it one day at a time. And let's see who America votes for. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video up until this point. I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it if you found the video informative to like the video and to make some comments. Tell me, how do you feel? What do you feel about what Trump said? Do you think that he'll be able to get these things done? Do you feel that he's just BSing or just talking out of his mouth? Who knows? Let me know how you feel about that. Lastly, can you subscribe to my channel? Because as a new YouTuber, I'm trying to grow, and I can only grow with your help. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Be safe. Have a wonderful day. Peace.